a supporter of Apollo's when he was still alive, before he did what he did. At only one point ever did me and Ben get into an argument, and it was over something completely stupid that was not even relevant to YouTube in any manner whatsoever. It was regarding something else entirely, and what I did was I left the server because of it, but I still remained his friend. Um, I'm not gonna have chat box up. That's not what I wanted. I before the time that he went off, before basically caving in to the lawsuit and going to Isaiah and doing all the stuff that he did behind the scenes, which I wasn't even aware of. Um, he gave me some bits and pieces, but he didn't tell me exactly who he was talking to. He wasn't giving me a 110% full play by play. He was giving me partials because he didn't trust anyone online, because the problem was that there was literally everyone and their grandmother and every drama channel was literally just following him and just twisting shit for context, for views, for money. And a lot of these quote drama channels don't want to get into them. We never did want to get into them. We thought they were fucking stupid. I've had a 2-hour long voice call with Apollo once when we were discussing a person I don't even want to discuss because he's not even worth my breath. And we just made fun of him the whole time. We legitimately made fun of him. This guy manipulated an entire Wikipedia page and put his YouTube video as a reliable source in the. He made his own edit to a major Wikipedia page and put his own YouTube video as a reliable source in the page edit, and it was hijacked. Clearly, you could see it in the history view. If you go back far enough, it's still there from, I think it was like 2018 or something like that, or even 17. It's been a long time. It actually maybe 3 years, 3 4 years, something along the lines of that, I would think. But yeah, this after he'd passed away, it's just like at that point, water under the bridge. I'm just gonna, everyone kind of in their own way, one way or another, kind of just fucked off altogether to their own individual little planets, which we didn't really care for. And mind you, um, I didn't really care to stay in the Discord server, but I knew every mod in there in Apollo Legends Discord, I mind you. And you know, one of our biggest problems that we had in that server was people. We knew that there were small groups and segments in certain Discord servers that were trying to dox the mods. So myself and even the current owner of Apollo server now, and many other people there, and Warfare can attest to that. Um, because there is talks of multiple Discord servers where they were talking about, oh, we're gonna swat this person, that it got really bad, and we got kind of worried. But like, other than that, we just kept on going, and what we were mostly doing was just researching video game cabinets, arcade units, possibilities, talking about legal offenses. I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and say that I even gave any advice to Apollo when he was alive. I did give him personal advice, never told him as a, you know, attorney in law or anything like that. I just told him, this is what I think you should do. And I gave him bits and pieces. He would ask me questions, obviously, but it was mostly from one friend to another type of deal. Now, I don't really discuss this all that often because A, he's been gone for a few years. B, I don't really want to put his name through the ringer. I don't even want to put his name in the thumbnail. I don't want to put his name in the title and the thumbnail, but a lot of people seem to forget, who was the first person to, point out that on YouTube at least, or on social media in general, besides Jeremy Young, who was the first one to do it? It was Apollo. It wasn't Carl. Now, Ben would not have. He just wanted shit to stop. He got tired and worried and anxiety attacks over the legal proceedings. He would not show up online to make even a video, even if it was like the rate of his videos, like the when he was making them, he would make them once every few months. But then when the whole thing with Billy happened, he stopped altogether. And it was clear as day. You could look back at the history and when he was making videos, when he was making them, when Billy was after him, he was fucking terrified. His hands are shaking every time. He couldn't make one. You know? Now I'm not gonna sit here and full on defend every single choice that he had done because I mean, he admit that Oceanside was a huge colossal failure, which I'm not gonna get into Oceanside. If you don't know what Oceanside was, Apollo wanted to rent out for a week or so this fucking nice condo, Oceanside. I think it was in California somewhere. A really nice hotel, indoor pool and all that shit. And um, basically, he wanted to do his own little convention center there, essentially, with all these high end streamers and speedrunners, have them show up, stream, and make a lot of money doing that, and everyone wins basically. It didn't work out. You know, I don't know what to really say about that one. I wasn't involved in that. By the time I started looking around after he had passed away, I already heard, you know, that he was depressed as shit because he lost a lawsuit. And I was trying to help him get out of it, trying to help him peacefully pull the fuck out, so to speak. And I still try to keep talking to him after that. The last time I talked to him was probably in November, December, literally 3 weeks before he did what he did. And he he was just really upset. He didn't want anyone to continue what he was doing. He really didn't, because he had already said that this is a shitty feeling. He hates these drama channels that are following him. It's giving them this horrible sense of dread. He just was absolutely petrified and tormented every time he would have an online media presence. So he kind of stuck to in real life stuff, essentially. He just tried to avoid ever touching a computer or phone, which, and I mean, at that point, I don't blame you. But here comes, again, Carl, who, never really, Ben never really knew him. I didn't know him either. He just kind of showed up, inserted himself, and for the most part, the biggest differences, the biggest thing between Carl and Ben is that Ben actually tried his damnedest to research his own shit. He didn't push clout. He wasn't chasing betas. He wasn't, a troll. He was doing it as an actual journalist. You'd go into a server and the only joke that he would make is water. I just drank water. That's a joke to him. Only rule, don't get banned. It's basically one-shot comedy. He didn't make this whole let's build some kind of a circle. He didn't try to do that because he didn't want to be some kind of representation of fucking drama, which I highly supported him for doing that because it was Honestly, I hate most Discord servers. I hate most Discord servers where the owner has this vibe where if you don't meet the vibe check, you're not accepted at all. I try to avoid a server like that at all costs. So when you get people like that, majority of the time, the information you're ever being given by anyone else, if you're going to be thinking that it's reliable just because you trust them, it doesn't exactly mean that it's going to be reliable. And that's the current point that I'm trying to make. I've asked for 3 whole months a real simple question. It's not a real complicated question. The only thing I had asked, how is this stick and the photo you're claiming will throw out your legal case? How is it not original? And where did it come from? If it's not original, it shouldn't be hard to identify what it is in the very most peaceful and civil manner. It should not be hard at all. If I needed to look up a part for literally anything, maybe a part to a TV, or a part to a bicycle, or a part to a computer, PC part picker, all that information is there. You can look it up. So, why did you not research what the stick was if you were so confident that it wasn't original? Now, a lot of people are going around saying that this stick is original. It is, in fact, not possible. And when I say not possible, we don't know what the stick is. Number one. Number two, it could have been retrofitted and conversion kitted into the damn cabinet from a radar scope conversion. When radar scope was a thing, for those that don't know, and I will keep explaining this over and over and over, radar scope was originally this shitty red cabinet and a really bad game that didn't really sell too well. And what ended up happening was those got turned by Nintendo into DK cabinets, and they basically took parts and Jimmy rigged it into the Donkey Kong cabinets, piece by piece. They took them apart, they put new slappy decals of DK and a barrel and a girl in hand, and that's how they did it. If you go back and look at the first 30 to 50 cabinets Nintendo ever created, they all look like something out of a fucking parlor shop. They look ancient and retro as hell. It's crazy. It's scary. I don't know what the hell's going on with my stream right now. Okay, I'm just imagining it. Yeah, I don't fucking care. Let me go back to what I was saying. My point here is this. I have tried to want to believe that Carl's a great guy and he's doing all this great stuff. And mind you, anyone could have done the video on Wada Games. Fucking, I'm gonna be dead honest here. Pat the NES Punk could have done the Wada Games episode. Or a documentary on Wada Games. Literally, if he had done it, or AVGN had done it, but, again, AVGN, James Rolfe, is basically being butt plugged by Screenwave, so he doesn't really make his own content that's too smart anymore either. But if Pat the NES Punk and some other really smart guy sat down together and they did a video, I probably would have watched that over Carl's, honestly. Because Pat the NES Punk has been in the scene and has seen Wada Games fucking up for years publicly as a public figure. Not so much Carl. So that was one thing that kind of irked me. The only other one, I just feel like a lot of these videos that he has up, especially the one with the guy eating pizza and playing Mario, I feel like that whole thing with Batabon was staged as shit. I feel like it was really, really staged. There's no way that you want to take that thing fucking seriously. I really don't want to even take that video seriously. When the guy isn't even pressing a button to start a timer, and he's just sitting there eating pizza, and he's doing inputs that aren't even matching up, and he's not even holding the controller at most parts. It's like, are you really going to take that seriously? I just feel like anyone could go out of their way. If I really wanted to right now, if I wanted to be a real big channel, what I would do is this. I would make an alt channel, build it up to 300K subs without an issue at all within 6 months to a year, and then upload one massive video that is basically hire a random guy to sit there, eat pizza with a controller in hand, basically exactly what this guy had done, and just pull a speed run that I spliced together in Sony Vegas, put it on screen, have him eating up here in the corner somewhere, and then I make a video about that. Oh, look at this fake run, and it's a staged fake run. You know, I'm not suggesting that that's what happened there, but if it just felt like that. It felt like that. You know what I mean? Like if it's that fake, sorry, if it's that fake and we know it's fake, I don't think we need to point it out. You know what I mean? Um, I don't know. It really kind of, some of the content really irks me. But another thing that has irked me is that a majority of the videos that Carl has put up, view wise, the most things that he gets views on is talking crap about Billy Mitchell, which, mind you, the dude's a punching bag now online. Sadly, he's become a punching bag. But also, unsadly, as much as I hate to say this, and I really hate to say this, some of what Billy Mitchell has stated on his YouTube channel, and I'm saying this from Apollo Legend telling me in private, and I shouldn't even be fucking saying this. Billy Mitchell is actually telling the truth. The reason why we never heard anything about the lawsuit is because they came to a peaceful agreement behind the scenes over Discord. Through third parties, going through other third parties, and eventually getting a call up and sitting down and talking. Very simple shit. Eventually got to Skype, and that's basically where it ended. So I'm not confident if it actually went to Skype, but somebody had mentioned Skype at some point. But just to keep it and clarify it at that, don't want to get into it, but I'm not supporting Billy either. I'm not supporting Billy because Jeremy Young's evidence on that usage of MAME is still pretty damning. You know, as one guy who sits here and analyzes video games and can break down an entire video game and just fucking clear it with ease and sit there and reverse engineer it if I fucking want to. You know, like if I wanted to make a mod menu for Grand Theft Auto 4, I've done it. I've done mod menus for Grand Theft Auto 5. And you know, off topic, I'm just saying, when it comes to analyzing score increments or how long it takes to beat a game, Dragster, you know, like, or the hex value of Contra 3 Alien Wars, where the fucking eye boss, Isaiah claims, does damage. That's the sort of thing I look into. That's what I do. I pull up a hex calculator, I break a game apart, I look at the game's code, and I figure out pretty damn easily point A, point B, point C, and this is what it means. And once I know that, I get a professional in, a guy that is in the scene, and then I basically use him as for reference. And then I say, okay, this guy, he's been doing it for years. He showed me this. Here's my math. It lines up with his gameplay. Your run's wrong. It's as simple as that. And we already know that Todd Rogers full on cheated. Todd Rogers is a cheater, full on, because he had scores that he implemented onto the scoreboard himself that didn't even have correct score increments put onto it. So I will stand behind Todd Rogers being a cheater. However, it might be a little too soon to just keep slapping at them away, which, mind you, they've been slapped at for the last almost half a decade. And what really irks me is Carl is not opening with an intro that doesn't mention Legend. And just personally to me, it just seems like it's like if I started doing a YouTube series and I'm like, "Hey guys, Paul Legend friend here." It's like, come on, man. It's, you know what you're doing. Like, it's At this point, I'm just saying that one human being to another, man, just fucking stop. Like actually, Billy Mitchell, we know cheated through Jeremy Young. You know, quit the shit. Make another content. Make other content. We don't care. We literally do not give a shit. The only reason I gave a shit was to point out the flaws and how many openings for Billy Mitchell's legal defense team to pick you apart. Now, mind you, again, I've been saying this for a while. I don't support Billy Mitchell, but I don't support Carl either. And apparently, for some reason, people have it in their fucking mind, and I'm the secret agent for fucking Billy Mitchell. I want to be dead fucking clear. I have maybe 2, 3 people that I know of that have ever directly spoken to Billy Mitchell. And I have never asked them once for an audience to talk to Billy Mitchell. I don't want to talk to the guy. I know about 3 or 4 people that I could contact them and see, like, yo, I want to talk to Billy. I've never done that once. I don't want to talk to the guy. I don't like him. I don't like the way he portrays himself in public. I don't like the way that he, constantly has to wear an American Eagle fucking tie and sell hot sauce everywhere he goes. I don't like the fact that he had to publish a magazine before the score was even announced. Even though that's like really, really, really fucking suspicious already, but you know, there is a model and a spokesperson, and then there's someone actually doing the score, and there are people on Twin Galaxies. Carl, if you want to go after some people on Twin Galaxies, I got a list, man. And just because Billy's the big notable name, why are you so hesitant to not go after the other ones? I got a long list of people that I've been planning on literally taking apart their scores, literally going video game analysts down the damn list on how every single one of them have been fucking cheating for years. And a couple of them have already been thrown out. Carlos Lopez being one of them. Apparently, he manipulated the RNG of his item drops in Zelda 1, and that's how he got thrown out. Even though that took, I don't know, what, fucking 20 years? Almost, it feels? I don't know. But yeah, I just wanted to state for the record, I don't give a shit if people go mass disliking that video. It's been 3 months. I gave a pretty adamant amount of time to kind of come forward with something that's a real simple question. If it's third party and not the actual, stick as he's claiming, what stick is it? Where did it come from? How is it 8 directional? He's claiming it's 8 directional. It's on the Wikipedia page. He's claiming it's 8 directional. Even though that stick, no matter, I don't want to hear about the fact that, oh, it's too tall, it's too short. Look, if this pencil right here in my hand was this stick, and it was this fucking tall, as tall as my fucking hand almost, okay? And this was a 4-way, I'd believe it. This could be a fucking 9-way directional fucking stick. It could be a 12-way directional stick. It could be omnidirectional, and I still couldn't give a shit. It's just the stick. The height wouldn't matter. It'd just be an inconvenience. And most video games and old cabinets did not give a shit for certain heights and certain kind of elements that they would put into the cabinet itself. Look at some of the older Nintendo cabinets with the guns. They look really fucking weird. You'd be surprised. So seeing a stick that'd be that tall, like, what about a crane game? What about arcade cranes where, a little drop down and grab a thing and it's rigged as shit because it doesn't actually, the claw games that don't close, and they have those big ass sticks that are fucking a foot tall and they go 8 directions, some of them go 4. Are we gonna get to that point where you're gonna say, oh, because this wasn't an official repair, or, it's 4-way or 8-way? But again, because you didn't provide a model number or part to this stick that you're claiming is an 8 directional, you have no fucking clue if it's an 8-way or a 4-way as a result. You have no clue. So on Wikipedia, you've gone to, or have at least associated with, and maybe not directly associated with, I'm not going to say that, but maybe you have contact with these 2 or 3 fucking online gaming news websites that have, I think one of them was Gavin Jones from Nintendo Life, which posted a whole thing saying, oh, he, Here, Carl proved again that the stick is illegitimate and it's an 8-way controller, and that's being cited on the Wikipedia. And I'm like thinking to myself, I'm like, so it's being acclaimed as an 8-way stick without knowledge of what the stick even is, and no proof to what it is. That's a stretch, Gavin Jones. I'm sorry. To the writer of that website, you got to get your facts checked before you start writing anything. Just because someone's a big name online, they could be wrong. Doesn't hurt to prove anyone wrong either. If you want to correct yourself, go ahead. I don't really give a shit. That's my point. I want to correct people. I want to correct the docket here. That image is an attempt at Carl Jobs trying to sway public opinion in his favor because he knows right now, with not showing a legal receipt through the GoFundMe's, who he's going to, what attorney did he select, what's going on, why is he opened up not one, but 2 GoFundMe's to collect money for David Reyes and himself, and then in both of them, not explain where he's going to get these quotes, who these attorneys are, and what's actually going on. He claims that, oh, we'll be sending out videos afterward to each person, everyone will be notified. But I wouldn't trust that. A lot of people are calling it a scandal. I'm 110% inclined to agree that it's a scandal. If you cannot handle your own bullshit online and your own legal fees, you should not be on YouTube. Number one, I would never, and I told Apollo not to do this, and he undid this shit immediately. Never open a GoFundMe for a legal defense while there is online bullshit going on. And that is exactly what he's been doing. He's opened 2 of them. He's been e-begging on streams. It's kind of sad. And this guy is supposed to represent Carl's supposed to represent Apollo 2.0 now. You know, the absolute legends guy. No. I'm not going to sit there and, essentially watch my friend get shit on with information not even being explained correctly, not being researched correctly, being thrown out, and possible scamming going on, essentially, through GoFundMe. A scandal and a half. I'm not going to support a person like that. You guys could sit there and say in my previous comment section, mind you, I responded for, again, 3 months to every message I saw. I said in my video that's about to premiere in about a couple hours that in that video, I said I got around 2,000 messages, and I said I responded to 900 of them, which is pretty accurate because almost 1,000 of them to near a half, essentially half, were all spam because YouTube has a lot of spam problems. And I don't want to get into it, but I seen my fair share of really nasty and dirty shit being posted in that comment section, and I still responded to most of it. It's unfortunate, but when I'm trying to ask the internet, hey, if you really support Carl, this is a real simple question. What ID, part number, model number, make, manufacturer is that stick, and how is it not original? I'm saying that in the most peaceful, nicest way possible from one human being to another, and yet for 90 days plus, almost, no one can come forward and figure that out. That's kind of astounding, don't you think? When in this modern day, you could literally go on PC Part Picker and literally build yourself a whole new fucking computer from nothing and have no knowledge. Think about it. Why is something like a simple arcade stick so hard to find? The closest I got was a couple people sending me hap sticks that had patent pending on it. That's it. And without a model number or, other than the manufacturer, that's all I had to go on. And so far, again, my assumption is that it's a hap stick. But I don't have a model number or a make. And without that, I'm still going to sit here and say that I actually don't believe that I want to support him. I will support him on these 2 grounds and these 2 premises, and I will say this live right now. If Carl can prove that the stick is not original, 110%, and that he played on, and that Billy Mitchell played on this cabinet, mind you, in the photos, he didn't play at all. That's one mark. If he can prove where all this GoFundMe money is going, publicly, in the GoFundMes, and publicly to the rest of the fucking world, where all this money that was being sent, that is going to the David Ray suit and to himself, that's the other second mark. If he can manage to do that, I'll support Carl Jobs. But in the meantime, I'm anti-supporting, and I'm telling everyone to not support Carl Jobs as he is misleading or withholding information, and I do not trust the man. I just don't. I want to trust the man because I think that his research on WADA was actually somewhat impressive. It wasn't actually all too half bad. But again, anyone could have done that. But I just want to believe that a very simple question to a very simple answer could have been answered in the case and point of the last 3 months. And that's all I wanted to say for this half an hour. So, again, I have to go take a shower to get to work in literally a few hours. That video is going to premiere at dead midnight. It's not going to be anything fancy. It's going to be a shortened version of what I just said. With a few little sparkled extra details. It's not going to be anything crazy, like I said. It's literally just going to be me sitting here. There's going to be nothing special about it. You can watch it. It's just the official version of what I'm saying here now live. And I just wanted to make that point. So, yeah, I don't really care otherwise. This is not a ploy for views. This is not a ploy for money. This isn't a ploy for anything. It really isn't. I could literally make any video and it would be another day. It'd be another day in sunshine for me. I could not give a flying shit for views. I couldn't give a flying shit for subs. Couldn't give a flying shit for likes. I don't even care for dislikes. In fact, I laugh every time that I get a dislike because that means somebody actually went out of their way to make a new account and actually come to my video and dislike it and leave some nasty comment, and I just got a new unique viewer and I laugh. I actually fucking laugh at that. Because it's kind of pretty sad that some betas would actually get that upset. You see, I'm pretty high tier. I don't actually give a shit. It takes a lot for me to care or be annoyed. Case in point. But yeah, that's what I just wanted to say. I'm just announcing this now as Apollo Legends major supporter and researcher and investigator analyst of video games. I'm saying this now. I do not support what Carl Jobs is doing. He is not giving all the information to the public. He is trying to mislead the public with information that is not accurate, not correct, or is being withheld for his own benefit, and is benefiting through GoFundMe as well. And I will not support that. That's all I wanted to say. Wait for the premiere. Thank you for waiting, and,